Good evening, drag racing fans. Welcome to another edition of the Pizza Metal Motorcast. This is Dave. I got a nice special guest, top Aka funny car driver, Hunter Jones. How you doing, Hunter?
I'm doing good, Dave. Thanks for having me, man.
Oh, no problem. So how'd you do with the funny car in 2019?
We did okay, actually. 2019 was our second season, our sophomore season out in the alcohol ranks, and we made a couple more races than we were able to the previous year. And we got out there. We had practically a whole new team, new electronics, new tuning system. Everything was completely different compared to our 2018 season, and we really made a lot of pushes with it, made a lot of good runs, collected a lot of good data. And I think it was definitely a big push to us going farther in the alcohol ranks, and I think 2020 is going to be something rather interesting.
Now, are you doing any changes to the car for 2020?
Not too many changes, no. We're stocking up on parts. As far as anything else goes, nope, same car, same body, same tuner, same tune-up. Obviously, we're going to try and give it a little bit more each time we go out because we're learning. We're a young team. I'm a young driver. We got young guys, new guys that some have never even really been around the sport that we brought in. So nothing's really changing as far as our tactics go. We still have one goal, and that's to, go rounds, win some races, just take it one step at a time.
So what got you into drag racing in the first place, Hunter?
I've been around racing really since I was born. I never really got involved myself until I was about 8 years old, but my biggest influence was definitely my dad. My dad had been racing for years. Before him, it was his father. His father was the big drag racer in the family. My dad ended up getting into drag racing, but leaned more towards road racing. But I actually started racing when I was 8 years old. Didn't start in drag racing either. My dad tried to get me and my nephew Grant into go-karts and do some road racing like he did. And nephew was a natural act. He was amazing. I just wasn't really my push. Didn't really get the grasp on it like he did. So he actually ended up taking me out to the drags about 2 weeks later, just across the way from the local track in Tucson. And we were checking it out. We were watching some of the door cars run, and it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. I thought it was interesting. I had never really been to a drag race before then. And we were watching, and then we saw these things go up to the starting line, and I had never heard of them, let alone seen them. They were junior dragsters. I had no idea what these things are, and we were watching. We see the parents running the kids, and so I got extremely excited. We got done watching, ended up going down to the pits, and we're talking to some of the families and the kids and how much they liked it, and how much it's really grown, helped them grow as a family, grow the sport. It was incredible. So it didn't take no less than maybe 2 weeks, and we went out and bought our first car.
So you started driving a junior dragster at 8 years old?
Racing at 8, I started driving a junior about 10 years old. I did the go-karts for about 2 years. And like I said, it wasn't really my grasp, my calling, but got into the seat of a junior, and it just went from there, and I haven't stopped drag racing since then.
So how many years did you do the junior dragster thing?
I competed in juniors for, I believe it was 6 years, from 2010 to 2015.
Now, were you successful in junior dragster?
We had a lot of success in juniors. We were more of a local track kind of race team, race family. We didn't do too much traveling as much as we really wanted to. But in those 6 years, myself, I collected a good amount of wins, 2 track championships. We were an IHRA certified track. So I actually ended up taking a track championship in my last season in 2015. Ended up going over to Amarillo, Texas to compete in the Division 7 title. Ended up winning that, which got us over to Memphis, Tennessee for the IHRA World Finals, and I was actually the only Tucson local kid in the junior drag racing ranks in IHRA that has made it to a World Finals or made a World Finals appearance.
No, that's awesome.
No, that's great. We had a really good time with the juniors, and we still do the juniors too. I have a younger sister as well as a younger niece that compete in juniors, as well as an older niece who just actually recently got her super comp license at the Frank Hawley Drag Racing School. So we're a big family of racers for sure.
So how old are those 2 girls?
My 2 nieces, I have one that's 13. That she's Aubrey. She races as a junior dragster. She has also played softball at one of the local high schools here. Great softball player, great racer. My oldest niece, Leah, she started racing juniors as well. She ended up winning the championship her first season. Had a very successful career. Ended up moving over to the sportsman ranks, and her, I believe it was an '86 Camaro. Did pretty good in that. Moved on from that, ended up taking the same Frank Hawley course here in Tucson that I did, and achieved her super comp license. And now we're looking to get her a car to keep her going, but otherwise she's there helping out any way she possibly can. She's a great kid. My youngest sister, Mackenzie, she's been racing since she was 8 years old. Got her in a junior immediately as soon as we could, and she's gone on to win races. She's gone on one championship already, local track championship at that, and she's just had a very successful career so far. All three of the girls, without a doubt.
That's great to hear. So how old are you, Hunter?
I'm actually 21 years old.
Still a baby.
My wife said you're still a baby.
I am a baby. I'm not going to lie. Compared to a lot of people out here, everybody kind of looks down at me as a young child and stuff. Like, I'm still trying to earn a lot of respect out there in the NHRA ranks, but...
Yeah. So now, what made you start driving alcohol funny car?
So after I got done junior racing, we ended up... our local track here got taken over by a man named, I'm sure most people know, Jim Hughes. Ended up buying what was Southwest International Raceway, which is now turned into Tucson Dragway. We ended up meeting with him and talking a lot because at the time, my mom, Sharisa, was the junior coordinator, and they ended up all meeting for dinner one night, supposedly supposed to talk about the junior program and how they wanted to go about it that year, which eventually ended up turning into a conversation about putting me in one of Jim's championship-winning Supercom dragsters. So we ended up going that route shortly after I got my license at Frank Hawley. And did that for about a year, but in the process of running that car for him down here in Tucson, we had just recently bought an alcohol funny car. I've been a funny car crazed kid my entire life. When I started going to the pro races, that's what I loved. I loved the fuel funny cars, the alcohol cars. It was great. I loved the concept of it, the short wheelbase, the challenge. It just made it so much more fun in my mind. So we actually went up to Glendale, Arizona, where we actually ended up meeting a gentleman named Spiro Contos who hooked us up with our first funny car, alcohol funny car, and we actually ended up joining as a team with them for about a couple years in our adventures of testing and getting to know the sport and understanding what we were really getting ourselves into. And he helped us a lot out of the way, along with his son Stefan, who actually competed alongside of me for that short time. And he taught me a lot, and but it just worked out well. But no, funny cars itself, I love the challenge behind them. I love, like I said, the short wheelbase, the capability of driving, having that control. It makes it a lot more interesting, a lot more challenging, and that's what I thrive for. I love being able to know what's going to happen and that it's in my control, and that I'm the only one who can make it work, so to say. But in that process of running the Super Comp car dragster, we were building that funny car, and it wasn't until about a year later, right after I got done with my season in Super Comp, that we ended up finishing the car and went on to testing, and I got that first lap in, and I just knew right then and there that this is what I wanted to do and drive this car.
So how was the experience for the first time driving a funny car?
It was nothing close to anything I've ever done. It was without a doubt just a complete punch in the chest. We had a detune pretty good, being it was my first run, but it still hit hard. It took off. It wanted to go every which way but straight, and it was a challenge. I think we ended up making only a 330-foot pass on that first one, but I could just feel the amount of G's pushing into my chest and the horsepower that was sitting in my lap. It was unbelievable.
Now, did you guys build the funny car or you purchased it?
We actually purchased it as just a rolling chassis, and then ended up buying more parts through the same gentleman that we purchased the car from, and eventually just ended up building the whole car ourselves. We had a lot of great minds. We had a tuner who actually has been in the NHRA for years, Sam Shockley. He worked with Alexis Ajoria back in her alcohol days, along with a bunch of other teams, Cruz Pedregon in his fuel funny car, and we actually ended up bringing him in, and he helped us along the way, along with my current crew chief, Cody Crewball. He is still with us today. He's, without a doubt, my best friend. Love the guy to death. And so through the time, we had those two, along with others, that really helped us get on the path of where we needed to be. And we were able to build a really badass car and have gone pretty far with it since.
So now the body of the car, what make is that car?
Monte Carlo, 2010 Monte Carlo.
Nice. Now, how many sponsors do you have?
Oh, God, under my belt, I'd say probably close to 50 passes so far.
No, sponsors. How many sponsors do you have?
Oh, sponsors? I'm sorry, I thought you said passes. Sponsors, a lot of them, we have a few here and there. A lot of them are more part sponsors than anything. We got a couple people that help us out for race to race. Primarily, we're running our local family business down here in Tucson, Arizona, which is National Auto Collision Centers, along with our sister business, which is actually one I run, Southwest Graphics and Wraps. Those are our two big ones. Being a family team, family business here, it works. We do pretty well, but a lot more parts than anything. We're able to come up with some people for each race to, excuse me, to get us some dough to get from place to place to be able to go and run these races. But
Now, what's the quickest pass you've made with that funny car so far?
so far, I did it in test, and I was unable to do it in a national event, so there's nothing official about it. But to me and my guys, it's definitely official and it counts. But we run 566 at 255 so far. That's our quickest pass, and we actually did that in Phoenix testing in the beginning of 2019, down where they were having their winter nats testing for the pro cars. And we actually, that same day, we reset our personal best 4 times.
Nice. Now, who are all the crew members that keep this car running?
Oh, God. I could say so much about them, but I got my crew chief for starters, Cody. Like I mentioned, he's a great guy. He's been with us since day one. Along with that, I have my both my tuners, Kevin Cantrell and our boy Roddy. Both of them, they go after the car like no other. They understand it better than anybody. It's crazy how well they work together. I got my clutch assistant. We call him Hillbilly. His name's Jerry. He's a great guy. He's been around with us actually since we started in our 2018 season, and we brought him along. Along with that, Troy Klein, who works the top and bottom end of the car, and he is just an absolute natural X. So those are my main guys in the car that keep it running, along with our team owners and my parents and my number one supporters, both my parents, Bill and Sharissa Jones. All of them, they're the ones that keep this car running. They're the ones that get me down the track, go fast, and get me to living my dream and doing what I love to do.
Nice. Now, for this year, 2020, how many events are you looking to hit?
As far as events go, we probably planned out so far, rough plan out, we planned about, I think it was about 11 to 12 events. Some are up in the air at the moment right now, trying to see where we can get together for those, but we have a good list of races that we want to hit, a lot more West Coast than anything, being in Tucson, of course. But that's what we're probably looking at doing. Just like I said, got to get everything lined up and make sure that we can make all these races. But we plan on doing a lot heavier of a hit this year than we had last year, and we just keep trying to push forward.
Now, do you have any favorite tracks?
Oh, I've only been to a couple so far. Right now, probably it's the one I've probably been to more than any of them, and that's Vegas. I love Vegas. The track itself is amazing, smooth sailing. It's always a great ride going down that track. I haven't driven down one better. So I'd have to go with Vegas. Vegas wins it.
Now, as far as inspiration, you said your dad's your biggest inspiration?
Without a doubt. My dad has done absolutely everything in his power to make this what it is today. He got me into racing. He's not going to let me get out of it, and not like I ever will. But, without him, I wouldn't have the drive that I have to go racing.
Now, are there any drivers in the NHRA that inspire you?
I grew up as a humongous John Force fan, without a doubt. I was a huge Force fan. My dad was growing up, and the first race I ever went to of his was down in Phoenix, back in 2006, I believe. 2006, 2007. And walking around in my little John Force jacket, my little John Force ball cap, and I walked up, and I was with my mom, and walked up to him. She's looking at him. He's your number one fan. He loves you so much. Grabs my hat, signs it, pats me in the head. It was the greatest moment of my life. I loved it. But no, Force, without a doubt, gave me a lot of push in the NHRA and drag racing, and really a funny car, if you want me to be honest. I mean, watching him drive a funny car and just seeing the complexity behind it and how well he did it and what he has done over the years to be what he is today, without a doubt, in argument, one of the greatest NHRA drag racers of all time. He definitely had a large push on that.
Yeah, I know you liked watching him get that 150th win last year.
I was jumping up and down. But no, he was a great inspiration for me, and I was able to meet a lot of the other guys that run in the pro ranks, and obviously in the alcohol ranks that have really given me some advice and pushed me. Pro ranks, for example, Matt Hagan. I go back and forth with Matt Hagan all the time, and he gives me a lot of advice and tells me a bunch of different things to do to help myself, whether it's physical or mentally, to get myself prepared for a race or whatever the case may be. So he's been a great inspiration to me, and I appreciate him without a doubt.
Now, how about any drivers in the Top Alcohol Funny Car? Any of those guys inspire you?
Oh, without a doubt. There's so many of them out there. I mean, I look up to so many of them. One of the first ones that I actually got to interact with was my national event debut, and that was in Vegas in 2018, and that was, Shane Westerfield. We were both packing chutes at the same time, and our trailers were just on the opposite ends of each other, and I introduced myself and talked to him a little bit, and he was very motivating, and, I told him it was my first national event, and he, helped me relax and just go out there and do what you do, bud. It's all this, and it's just a race. Just go out and have fun. Along with that, I've had conversations with guys like Doug Gordon, guys like Ray Martin, So many other ones I've had. I mean, even Sean Bellemere. I mean, I'm a kid in this ranks, man. I'm still learning the people, learning the categories. So I look up to all these guys. They may just be racers, but to me, they're really top end guys in the alcohol ring. And I'll have conversations with Chris Marshall, conversations with Sean Bellemere, and so the advice and the motivation that they give to me to help me try and get better and be a successful driver is unbelievable. It's nice to be able to make new friends in the NHRA, and it's helped a lot. It really has helped a lot, and it's made my adventure and my experience in alcohol racing a lot easier and a lot more fun, honestly.
Now, Hunter, when you're out on the track, do you have any pre-race rituals or superstitions when you're out there?
So one of the things that I do, and actually my guys probably aren't going to like this very well, is not something that I really do before getting in the car or anything like that. I do go to the back of the car, grab the wing, take a quick prayer, talk to the car, give her a little rub down. You know, we're going to do this together. That's the thing. But no, when I'm in the car, as soon as I leave the starting line, I literally, and we're about to do probably get a whole radio headset film in this car. And this is why they're probably not going to like this, because I literally scream the entire way down the racetrack. It's just been my thing. It pushes me. It helps focus me for some oddball reason, but I've been doing that since we started. Not in a freaked out, sissy way, just push forward, go, go, go. It's just one of those things, man.
So really, all the way down the track you're screaming?
All the way down. From when I smash on the pedal to when I pull the chutes, I am screaming. I am just have that energy built up into me and that adrenaline to just want to go and get to the finish line.
Yeah, my wife just said that's your adrenaline rush.
Oh, without a doubt. It's like a drug in a sense, and I ain't giving it up, man. I love it. I love the drag racing.
So now, what kind of preparation goes into getting that funny car ready for a weekend of racing?
As far as our preparation goes, I mean, when we're getting ready for a weekend of racing, we go through the car. Like, for example, if we get done with the test session, getting ready for a race, we'll bring the car back to the shop, get it all torn down, service everything, make sure we have no issues, get it all built back up together. Nothing major, just a simple run-through. Get it loaded in the trailer, take it down the track, get set up. Nothing too crazy, really, with these alcohol cars, as long as it's something fairly basic. If we have an issue, yeah, that's a situation. Or electrical issue, a mechanical issue, we'll pull it down as far as we can, down to the bare block, down to the chassis even, and just figure out what our problem is, get the thing back together and ready for the next race. But nothing major, nothing crazy, just a simple routine, simple maintenance like any other guys could tell you.
Now, you do a quarter-mile racing, or have you ever done eighth mile?
In this car, I do quarter mile. I did eighth mile back when I ran juniors. They will not let you go past quarter mile, unfortunately. But, no, quarter mile is the alcohol funny car, of course.
Now, where do you get all your fire safety equipment from?
I stick with Simpson. I love Simpson. I've used them since I started racing juniors. Fire suits are great. I have no problem. I just got a brand new Simpson helmet actually coming in the mail here shortly. And I've never steered away from them ever. I just absolutely love their equipment. It's top notch. I would never go a different direction.
Now, in the short time you've been doing the Top Alcohol Funny Car, have you reached any milestones?
I'm reaching milestones every time I go out there, honestly. Whether it's, like I said, we try to set ourselves up to go step by step, and each and every time I seem to go out there, we always improve in any aspect, whether it's a better ET, a better mile an hour, making sure that we had this done right, we had something else done right. So I honestly feel like with every run that we make down the track, we're improving, and I'm hitting certain things I want. I mean, I remember the first time I went down when I finished my license, my last pass to get my license was the first time I went into the 5 seconds, and that was without a doubt a milestone in itself. I mean, to be, at that time, I was 18 years old. To be an 18-year-old going 5 seconds in a funny car is just unbelievable, and the opportunity has just been so humbling, and I'm so grateful for it, but to just hit something like that at the age that I'm at is unbelievable.
Now, you one of those guys that has a need for speed?
What's that?
I said, are you one of those guys that has a big need for speed?
Oh, without a doubt. You could never take this away from me. It's my thing. I love going fast. I want to keep going and keep pushing forward, getting faster, getting to higher ranks, and so on and so forth. But yes, that need for speed is in me, without a doubt.
Now, throughout your racing career, from juniors to funny car, have you had any accidents or close calls at all?
Knocking on wood, thankfully not. I have not had any close calls. I had a couple interactions where I was about maybe an inch or two shy from the wall with a funny car trying to pedal it the first time. That was an interesting scenario. But other than that, no, thankfully I have not been in any accidents, and hope to not be in one soon, but it's one of those things where it's not when it's going to happen, it's not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen, but thankfully not yet.
Now, what are you looking forward to out of 2020 with the funny car?
Just to keep making improvements, whether it's in the pits with our team, getting more stuff dialed in, making sure we have enough parts to maintain our entire weekend of racing, going rounds, winning races. I mean, we have different goals that we set each and every day, each and every weekend when we go out, and but just improving, being a better team, getting more consistent, getting the car dialed into where it needs to be. That's my ultimate goal, is just to keep moving forward with our program.
Awesome. So now we're going to hit some fun questions here.
Awesome. I'm ready.
Outside of drag racing, do you have any other hobbies, Hunter?
Oh, man. Well, before drag racing, I was a humongous football. I love playing football. As a football fan, those are my two biggest things. I love playing golf, without a doubt. Probably football and golf. Those are my two things that I love to do more than anything outside of drag racing.
Now, have you ever gone fishing?
I've gone fishing. I don't even like touching fish, man. I'll barely eat it, but I won't even touch it. You can't take me fishing.
How about hunting?
Hunting, I actually have never gone hunting. I've gone out in shotguns plenty of times with family and my buddies, but I haven't had a chance to go hunting. I really wanted to, but unfortunately not.
All right, now, what's your favorite food to eat?
Oh, favorite food, hands down, pizza. I'm a huge pizza guy. I'm a full-blown Italian. You can't take me away from pizza and pasta.
What do you like on your pizza?
I'm a plain Jane kind of guy, honestly. I'm just as simple as, like, pepperoni. I can roll with that easily any day of the week.
Now, do you cook at all?
I do a little bit. Not too much. If I am cooking, it's usually something as simple as a microwavable dinner. But outside of that, maybe a couple different things. But cooking is not my specialty.
Can you ask him if he can make eggs and bacon?
My wife said, can you make eggs and bacon?
Absolutely, I can make eggs and bacon. I can make an omelet, believe it or not.
Omelet. Cool.
What do you put in your omelet?
Yeah.
What do you put in your omelet?
Omelet, I'm a ham and cheese guy.
Nice. So what's your favorite beverage?
Favorite beverage? Oh, man, I'm very basic. I'm a water and iced tea kind of guy. I don't really drink anything outside of that. I mean, I'm 21, so I'm young, and I go out and have fun a little bit here and there, but primarily I'm an iced tea, water kind of drinker. Don't do soda. Don't even do Gatorade or any of that kind of stuff.
Now, what was your favorite TV show growing up as a kid?
Oh, TV show growing up as a kid? Probably SpongeBob. I was a huge SpongeBob fan. Watched it all the time.
Good old SpongeBob SquarePants, huh?
Absolutely.
All right, now, as far as when you're out on the starting line, do you have a most embarrassing moment?
The most embarrassing moment?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this one. It's not really big embarrassing, but it's just one of those that makes you laugh. I mean, I was standing on the starting line of a freshly prepped track when I was sending my little sister down the drag strip, and I had my pair of worn-out, torn-up Vans on, and I'm standing there watching her go, and I go to turn around after she wins. Shoes get stuck, and I had her like loosely tied. Shoes get stuck to the ground, completely fall out of my shoes, go face first into the racetrack surface. Everybody saw it. Everybody laughed. It was one of those things.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, man.
Everybody who has ever been around a drag strip or on a racetrack has gotten their shoes stuck. Nobody can lie about that.
All right. Now, do you have any advice you would like to give to the youth of today who are beginning drag racing career?
If anything, it would just be keep pushing. Make that goal for yourself. Push for it. I did that, and here I am today. I mean, nobody would have thought that a 21-year-old would be driving top alcohol funny car, and I'd like to think that I've helped along the way. Along with the other people in my life have helped me push for that. So with the younger generation, whether it's juniors or wanting to just take an action in the sport, just push for what you want. Follow that dream. In all honesty, just as long as you're going after it, it can happen. Possibilities are endless. There's no such thing as no. Just absolutely push. That's all I can really say. Just make it happen yourself. It's worth it in the end if it's what's going to make you happy.
All right, now, if you could do time traveling and go back into time, would you do anything differently with your racing career?
Absolutely not. My racing career has been amazing since day one. I loved everything that's happened about it. And like I said, I'm never going to go backwards for anything like that. I just want to keep pushing forward because there's absolutely not a thing that has ever gone wrong and not a thing that I would ever change because it's just been great. There's not been a bad moment. There's not been a bad memory in my racing career.
Now, if you have time to take a vacation, what's your favorite vacation getaway?
I grew up outside of Tucson over the summer. Every summer as a kid, I grew up spending a lot of time in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. That's without a doubt my vacation spot. I'm not into the traveling the world or Hawaii or any of that kind of thing. I like just kicking back on the lake and the boat with my family. That's my go-to.
All right, now, what is your favorite movie of all time?
Favorite movie? Oh, man. I'm a humongous Star Wars nerd, without a doubt. I couldn't even tell you which one. I couldn't pick one. I love all of them. Star Wars, definitely.
All right, now, what is your favorite music?
I am a diehard country fan. Love everything country. I grew up listening to guys like Toby Keith, Rascal Flatts, Garth Brooks, all those kind of guys to the ones nowadays. I love every kind of country music. That's really all you'll really find on my phone. Country music hands down.
Now, you like the newer country, like pop country?
I like a little bit of pop country. Guys like Kane Brown, those kind of guys I can get with for sure. But a lot of my stuff really goes back to the guys like Garth Brooks and George Strait.
All right, now when you're at the track on a race day, what are your eating habits? You eat lightly and wait till the races are done, or you eat regular?
If we're just going out for like a junior race or something with the girls, we're eating snack bar food, hot dogs, hamburgers, nachos, all that kind of crap. But if we're out there and we're racing funny car, we're doing sandwiches, light meals, something simple, just strictly water. It's a lot more prepared, at least in my sense, of what I'm going to be putting in my system when I'm the one competing compared to when they're competing.
Now, if you weren't a drag racer, what do you think you'd be doing with your life?
Oh, man. Honestly, outside of drag racing, I have a great career. I run my father's graphics and wrap shop down in Tucson, and I love it more. I love it just as much as I love racing. I love wrapping cars. I love messing with all that stuff. So that's probably what I'd be doing is what I'm doing right now. I enjoy it a lot.
Awesome. Now, do you have any pet peeves?
Oh. Pet peeves. Oh, God. I'm trying to think of one. I have too many. God, no. Pet peeves, I absolutely, couple of them. I hate when people fidget. I hate when people chew with their mouth open. Just your basic ones. I don't have anything that's absolutely crazy. Just those little things, they drive me nuts.
All right. What's your favorite color?
Blue, hands down. Color of the race car is blue.
Now, what would you consider to be the fondest memory of your drag racing career?
Finest memory of my drag racing career, honestly, it's my favorite race that I've ever won, and I actually ended up winning back-to-back weekends. And the first weekend I won was October 12th. I can't even remember the year right now. I think it was 2013. And it was the weekend before my mom's birthday, exactly 1 week on a Saturday. And we went up, and I went to the final round. I ended up winning that race, and I actually dedicated that race to my mother because I didn't, you have that aspiration. You want to go out there and win and go rounds, but, you get that one win. You're like, okay, well, if we don't get the next one, then this is the one. So I dedicated that one to my mother, and then we actually went out the next weekend on October 19th for her birthday, and I won that race too. So that was without doubt the biggest moment. She got down to the top end with my dad on the golf cart and just jumped in my arms, both crying our eyes out. That was my favorite moment, without a doubt.
Beautiful. Now, are you a cat person or a dog person?
Definitely a dog person.
Now, do you have any dogs?
I don't have any dogs. I actually, 21, I recently moved out not too long ago, and I feel like my family has actually downgraded from their dogs. Nothing against the one they have right now. I love her to death. But I actually grew up in the household with a humongous, properly trained German Shepherd named Jake. And he was my protecting dog as a kid. We actually ended up going from Jake down to a Beagle, and now they have a Yorkie. So definitely downgraded in the dog sizes, and I'm sure my mom's listening to this right now thinking the exact same thing. But
yeah. Now, if people that are listening right now want to find out what your schedule is going to be for this year, what's the best way for them to find your schedule?
Best way to find my schedule, we actually just kind of finished, like I said, we made a pre-mock schedule. I'm going to be posting that up on our website, and that's HunterJonesTAFC.com, as well as on Facebook. Other than that, I'm not no big famous dude. You can anybody can DM me, ask me questions, personal messages. By all means, I'll happily answer anything people want to know. But primarily, yes, Facebook and our website is where you're going to be able to find our season schedule.
Now, how important do you think it is for kids to come out and watch drag racing in this day and age?
Oh, absolutely. It needs kids are the next generation. I was one of those at one point in time. I still am in a sense. But likewise with my siblings. Kids need to be out there. Kids are the next generation. They're what's going to keep this sport moving forward. Having kids out there and seeing the look on their faces. Because, I was one of those kids growing up. Like I said, that first story I had with John Force, I was one of those kids who just looked up to people like him and the other racers. Now I have kids that walk up to me, and it's just like the same exact look that I had. They want to take your picture with you. They want you to sign their hat or your hero card, whatever the case may be. So I know what that look is, and I know what that feeling is. And without a doubt, they need to be involved. That's why I love the junior programs. I support it 100%. I was glad to be a part of it and to see my sister and my nieces go into it, and more kids follow. And I promote the absolute crap out of it. I love bringing new kids in the organization. It's, like I said, the future of drag racing are these kids.
Now, when kids come to your pit area, do you put any of them in the seat?
I've had a couple, yes. Most of the time, it's usually the younger ones that end up freaking out, and they just kind of look at you like, what are you doing? But other than that, no, I'll always offer to put kids in the seat. They get to sit there, turn the steering wheel, touch some of the buttons, not all of them, but yeah, and they love it. The look on their face is absolutely incredible, and it's like you made their day, and it makes you feel great.
Yeah, that makes for a memory of a lifetime for those kids.
Oh, without a doubt, for myself, too, and any other drivers, I'm sure, could say the same thing.
Yeah, I'm sure it's nice when they come back to the races again and they say, we remember you. You put our kid in the seat of your funny car.
Oh, without a doubt, and the appreciation that, like, the parents and stuff, I didn't think of another better way to spend my weekend than at the drag strip.
Yeah, drag racing is just one big happy family, and it just gets bigger and bigger because you meet more and more people all the time.
Oh, without a doubt. The people you meet, especially the people that I've met that I've kept in touch with in my life that I still talk to. I was with a couple of them today, just going back and forth. I mean, it's incredible how many people that I've met through this amazing sport.
Yeah, I always hear all the stories about another driver is willing to help another driver, even if you're a competitor. If they can give you a part, they'll give you a part.
Oh, without a doubt. We've had those situations, where we've been lacking parts because we're a smaller team. We're growing, we're doing our thing, but we've had plenty of situations where we'll just go up because I like to make friends. I like meeting all these people and talking to them, and they're more than willing to help us out, and likewise are we if they need anything. So everybody, especially in the alcohol ranks, is very tight. It's a very tight-wadded family, and it's a great group of people. I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Hunter, I want to thank you very much for taking time to do the interview.
Absolutely, Dave. I appreciate you having me. This is great. Thank you.
We'll do another one in the future.
Sounds like a plan, man. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we can talk about a Wally by then.
Yeah, hopefully. Now, before we end it, you have any final words or thank yous, any good stuff like that before we close?
Just big thank yous to all the people listening right now, all the fans out there, all my friends and family that are listening too. Without a doubt, you guys are my biggest supporters and the reason I'm doing what I'm doing. And without you, it wouldn't be as fun as it is right now. So thanks to all of them. Thanks to my family, my parents for everything they've done for me, my crew. Everybody's just been busting ass for me, and I couldn't thank them enough for it. And on top of that, thank you, Dave. I appreciate you having me. This has been absolutely great.
Oh, you're welcome. And I wish you the best of luck with this 2020 racing season.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. You have a great night, Hunter.
Thank you so much. You too, Dave.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye.